The views and opinions expressed in this podcast episode are those of the host and guests and not their sponsoring institutions. Welcome back to the KrisCross Corner Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Canty. We're here with the Great Debaters. We got Marcel Smith, Christopher Bird, and Mecca Ali, aka Mecca Jackson. Shout out to all the members of the KrisCross Corner Podcast Facebook group. Join the group to join the conversation every week. Share topics and questions you have on social media at KrisCross Corner on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. Listen for free wherever podcasts are heard. Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm/KrisCrossCorner/support and subscribe $4 a month, $5 a month, $10 a month to sustain future episodes. Link is in the description below. Thank you for your support. All right, y'all. We got some strong topics to talk about today.
Very strong.
Before we get to those strong topics, happy Mother's Day, everybody. Happy Mother's Day, Mecca, our resident mother of the Great Debaters. And Chris was gonna give a gift to Mecca for Mother's Day. And what was that gift, Chris?
Hey, that's private matters. That's private matters.
No, it's not private on this show. You were gonna give Mecca a gift for Mother's Day?
Yeah, I would say, because I would say, with people who actually like Doctor Strange on this podcast and such, I would say, Mecca, you know what? For you and the little guy, y'all go watch Doctor Strange on me and such. And you know what? I'll even throw a little bit extra for some popcorn, some drinks. Why not?
You can't just buy tickets.
Bro,
what's wrong with you?
I think that's better than Roof Chris.
You know what, Mecca?
No, wait a minute.
So I was like, okay, you do this for Mecca for Mother's Day. I want that same energy for me on Father's Day. I want the same energy. Guy said, I'm gonna treat you to Ruth Chris. You could go by yourself on Father's Day. I was like,
I said specifically, would you like that? I never said I would do it. I said
would I like to go by myself on Father's Day? No. You know who else is gonna be there at Father's Day? Everybody and their dads. Who am I gonna be? I'm gonna be there by myself.
You can bring the baby.
Treat yourself, dog. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
You're right. The baby can't eat, can she? I'm playing.
So that's $3.99.
I was like, "What you want? Nothing. All right, all right. You a cheap date."
This is the best time to take kids out to eat.
Okay. Well, what if in that case, what if say I get tickets for you and I to go to AEW show in Detroit later on that month? What about that?
Nah, I don't want to go to AEW.
Okay. Hey, I tried. Okay, I'm trying. I done went from Root Chris to gas cards and not wrestling shows. So it's clearly still my mindset.
You're on a roller coaster right now. It's a roller coaster. You went from Ruth Chris, you went down the gas cards, and then you're back a little bit up to AEW.
Hey, this is
what about go-karts?
No, I'm playing.
All right.
I'm playing. Actually, Chris, you know what a good Father's Day gift would be?
What?
For you and me to go. Well, you're not a father, but you will be though. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Like another 5 or 6 years.
Damn, that's what I said last year. But anyway, talking about, I want to go back to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So if you can get me tickets to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, that would be a great Father's Day gift.
I got you, fam.
He's already on the website right now. I'm playing.
I
want the same energy. I want the same energy for my birthday. I want the same energy for Marcel's birthday.
You pushing it. You pushing it.
No. Marcel's birthday is that same week. And then we have to have the same energy for Juneteenth. This is the same week as well.
Hey,
we should actually do something for Juneteenth.
We should, Mecca.
I don't know. You can decide. You can decide.
No, this is the only time I let it be a democracy. What should we do?
Hey, yo, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
We can decide as a whole.
Time out. You just gonna bypass my birthday like it ain't shit?
Yes, we are.
You just did that for me too.
Wow.
No, I didn't. We never even referenced your birthday.
You just skipped over You just said Juneteenth.
We said Marcel's birthday or Juneteenth. We didn't say anything about Christopher Bird's birthday.
And I said,
however, this is the 2-year anniversary of Christopher Bird having ice in his wine. Yes, everybody, it is Cinco de Mayo.
Oh no!
The 2-year anniversary of the infamous roasts, which you can watch on YouTube on the KrisCross Corner Podcast. YouTube.
Wait, what happened?
Go on YouTube, Mecca.
No, please.
We roasted him for 30 minutes because he had ice in his wine.
Okay, I'm gonna watch it after the show.
Oh Lord, Chris about to be famous. Anyway, Chris's birthday is also in June. Everybody.
Yeah. Thanks. But
is that where your nickname Fried Cereal came from?
No. His name was Fried Cereal because
it's a backstory.
Because we were
we can talk about that after this. It's okay.
Okay, yeah. We can talk.
Go ahead,
we can talk about that on the Great Debaterz show, which is coming back this month as well. Okay, stay tuned for that. But before we get into the big topic that we have for today, which you guys have seen the title of the episode, we'll get to that. But right now we're gonna do What You Doing, Detroit. What you doing? Now we don't have a lot of things from Detroit. However, there was a Detroit woman who was charged after a state trooper found $52,000 worth of fentanyl during a traffic stop.
God damn.
And Detroit PD actually don't pull people over. So unless you don't know how to drive. So either she was A, driving very reckless on 7 Mile or something, or B, 7 Mile is 1 lane, but they make it 2 to 3 lanes and it's always an accident.
Oh, okay. Now I know what side of Detroit you live on. You said 1 lane on 7 Mile. That's
I'm straight east side.
That's east side. Well, on my side, it's 2 lanes. You know what I'm saying? 2 lanes and a parking lane.
Fancy.
But for a state trooper, to be on 7 Mile, some had to be going down.
Some had to, man.
Because you never see a state trooper in the hood unless somebody did something really bad.
Legit.
But yeah. So please don't store $52,000 worth of fentanyl in your car. Because you never know when you might be pulled over.
Literally.
All right. Speaking of never know what's gonna happen. A South Carolina inmate selected death by firing squad instead of the electric chair. Yes, the state of South Carolina has made death by firing squad a legal option for you to go out when you're sentenced to death.
Yes, but I don't even know.
So this man was like, you know what? Electric chair or get shot.
To quote the great J. Cole, at least he died tastefully.
Anyway, dang, Marcel. We can't
Good night.
Like this.
That did not make it any better.
We can't have you on the show anymore.
That's why you're in bed right now. You need to go to bed.
We can't have him on the show anymore.
Marcel, we're trying to gain subscribers, not like push them away.
Right.
Shout out to all of our listeners in South Carolina. I don't know how many, but shout out to y'all.
Shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to our listeners in Detroit. I haven't talked to y'all in so long. What up, Detroit? What you doing?
Other than that new Savage and Fenty store opening up downtown.
Speaking of that, there's a new Savage Fenty coming downtown.
Man, if that
yes.
Fellas, if you're listening,
don't go downtown when it opens.
If you're listening, you already know the code. You already know what to do.
You already know.
Man, if that door was open this weekend, oh my god.
Smart with it though. Because they have a monthly subscription and it's a discounted price. And if you don't have that subscription, you pay about $20 for a pair of underwear.
Hell no.
$20. $20 for some stuff that's gonna come off?
Ninja,
no. All right. I'm gonna keep my comments to myself. All right, next story, Kris. Come on.
Please,
next story.
This is the Mother's Day episode. This is the Mother's Day episode, Becca. You can say what you want to say.
No.
If the store was open during this weekend on Mother's Day, oh my god, that's all be making bank.
Oh, they wouldn't.
Somebody getting pregnant.
Somebody getting pregnant though.
That too.
Happy Mother's Day. Anyway,
they said it's gonna be a reason for that underwear to be paid.
Right.
Well, what the guys settled for Vicky's anyways for Victoria's Secret. So,
hey, yo.
Speaking of buyouts, Spirit Airlines,
oh man,
has declined JetBlue's buyout. They declined their offer and continues to pursue a deal with Frontier Airlines. First of all, remember the movie Acrimony?
I do.
When the man was like, you know what? I know this is my goal. And the person right here was like, here's an offer. And he didn't take it. And people say he was stupid. You know what? F that. These people are stupid. You drop JetBlue for Frontier? First of all, Frontier Airlines is trash.
None of those airlines, actually.
I've been on Spirit. I've never been on Frontier or JetBlue.
American or Delta for me.
You said American or Delta?
Okay.
Yes.
See, as someone who survived going to Atlanta. Yeah, as someone who survived flying through a thunderstorm on Spirit from like Detroit to Atlanta, yeah, you should have just.
Michael, shut up! Oh my god.
I'm just being honest. We were doing the Cupid shuffle from 30,000 feet in the air. We were going left, right, up, down, left, right. There was a lady behind me. I kid you not, she was like praying like aloud. I'm trying to listen to Alice in Chains and J. Cole while we're going through a turbulent in the thunderstorm.
First of all, you're listening to Alice in Chains and someone behind you is praying. That is the mix. That's a mix right there.
A red flag.
That's probably why there was a thunderstorm. You listen to Alice in Chains.
Stop, man. I'm just saying, I'm giving you an insight what happened, okay? I'm telling you. I know
it's a Spirit flight. I know what happens. Ain't nothing happening on that flight except for, hey, we might die. Y'all sign the waiver.
Hey,
there's tape on the wing.
Hey, man.
and y'all might have double seat belts, so you might not be able to click it in.
Y'all might. Might.
Hey, like I said, no, I was trying to listen to Alice in Chains, and then the lady behind me was like, and I could hear it just like, Lord, not today, and such. And I'm like, I'm just chilling. I'm like,
you know what they say, like for like regular flights like Delta, American, they do like this whole spiel before you get off the runway. Spirit just be like, buckle up.
I think Deltas be like almost 2-3 minutes long.
It is, and then the people they don't even do like the sign language stuff anymore. They just be like, yeah, just look at the screen.
But
like, God damn, Delta.
But Delta though, hey, it'd be worth it though. It'd be worth it.
You know, it also depends on the flight, because I know the ones with all the screens on it, they just don't do anything. But if like the smaller jets, they have everybody do the put your seatbelt on, get the thing. I was like,
we got a funny story with Delta.
What happened?
Oh no.
So I was coming back. I was actually pregnant with my son. We was my baby daddy and I were leaving Vegas. Okay. And you know, he has a severe peanut allergy. So he had to document it so nobody won't eat peanuts on the flight. They announced it over the intercom, like they said his full name, exactly where he sits. They said he had a peanut allergy. About 10 people smacked their lips and called a whole attitude because they wanted peanuts.
I want some peanuts.
I laughed so loud.
Don't listen. They ain't gonna die. I mean,
the reason why we don't have any peanuts is because of this person.
I mean, like Detroit to Vegas is only like a 3-hour flight?
About 4 hours. It's about 4 hours.
4 nonstop.
Yeah, I only do nonstop flights. It's actually about 5 hours.
Yeah,
I can see that, but I ain't gonna lie. Nonstop flights, like going from like Detroit to Atlanta, was my first time doing a nonstop flight, like to the destination.
Imagine just getting to your destination when you want to for a nonstop flight. I just imagine people going on these flights with one, maybe 2 connectors.
There's one.
Like, damn, I'm already in my hotel room sleeping, and you're still traveling.
I will say this. I will say this. If I were to do Spirit again, it will only be within the States, never internationally. Hell no.
Can they go international?
Yes, they can.
Do they have enough fuel for that? I'm playing.
I said the same.
I'm just saying. I know Spirit goes to like the Caribbean and like Mexico and stuff,
but
like, can they make that 8-hour trip across the pond? No, I don't think so.
I don't know. Shoot, I'm about to say. I'm like, hey man, I'll drop some extra on Delta or American easily.
You have to
easily.
Oh, hey, actually, the most equivalent to Spirit is Southwest. So Southwest is way better than Spirit.
Southwest is way better. Like they give you the option for 2 check bags like for free and such. That's a big one. And shoot, when I go to Colorado in a couple of months and such, I'll be flying out of Southwest anyways and such. So we good.
That's good.
We're gonna be straight. We're gonna be in that bud. Just chilling, man.
Speaking of being straight and being all right, thieves in New Jersey ripped out a whole ATM at a New Jersey bank, stealing almost $40,000 in 90 seconds.
So it wasn't a porch?
What?
So it wasn't a porch?
No. You said a Porsche?
Porch.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
No, you know one of those outdoor ATMs? They just ripped it out. Tried to do a barbershop. Remember the opening scene in barbershop?
Literally, that's what they tried to do. Literally.
What else? What other crap happened this week? Oh, should we do this one or not? I don't know. This was funny to me, but it's not funny because someone died. But it's hilarious. It's hilarious anyway because you guys don't think it's hilarious. An Atlanta man has been found guilty for shooting a victim over a game of Uno at a house party.
It's never that deep.
No. Mecca, I said the same thing. However, me being a black person, I immediately went to the comments. Now, these comments were so savage. These comments were so savage. I went in, I was like, oh, that's bad. Someone died because of Uno game. I went through the first comment. First comment was like, I keep telling you, niggas, stop stacking. Then the next comment was like, he probably had 25 cards in his hand. I was like, God damn. Then the next one said, this one was what got me. He said he probably got a wild card, switch hands. He probably had one card left. He had to switch hands with somebody. I'm gonna do an honorable mention for the one I put in. I was like, he was probably playing Uno Flip.
Oh, yes.
I actually watched somebody play Uno Flip, and that's hell.
Uno Flip is horrible. It's pandemonium. You be ready to like say Uno, then it'd be like Flip. I'd be like, shit, I ain't got that color.
Oh wait, that should be like a future, like say a Great Debaterz this or that. You know, would you rather play friends in Uno or Mario Kart? Because one way or another, you're gonna lose friends.
Mario Kart, not really.
Bro, folks rage quit over Mario Kart.
They would rage quit. They wouldn't kill anybody though.
Hey, man.
People are comparing it to spades. I was like, nah, that's not spades.
No. Dude, just fight over.
You want to talk to somebody for a few months or years, but not kill somebody.
Few months or years.
I'm about to say
years. Just a few months or years. So it don't really matter.
You have somebody fearing on the game. We stopped talking because we lost. I got fucked over in the game of spades.
Speaking about getting fucked over, Triumph Church has now bought the once popular Star Theater in Southfield on 12 Mile and Telegraph. Now, if anybody who doesn't know, who listens to the podcast, Triumph Church is this huge mega church with multiple locations in the Metro Detroit area. How they get these places, I don't know, but I can conduct an investigation on how they're getting this money.
Please, Chris.
Okay? They're probably doing 8 offerings of service. Okay. But that's just me.
That's his first service.
We got the Sunday service at 8 o'clock at this service. We got the Sunday service at 10 o'clock at this service.
You also got the 6 a.m. service.
We got the 6 a.m. service on the Detroit Princess. I was like, what? They got a Detroit Princess?
It's safe to say that they were reading First Ecclesiastes 4:11 very well. Let's just say that.
They sure was. You said First Ecclesiastes? It's only one book of Ecclesiastes.
Oh wait. I meant Thessalonians.
Good night. Go to sleep.
I'm about to say there's only one.
Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
Dang, I was just reading it like last night. Dang it.
I said there's only one book of Ecclesiastes.
Oh, yeah, and I was like, wait, hold on, that is not right.
I was like, what? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we are God-fearing people, so please.
You have humor every now and then, okay? Gosh.
Well, speaking of someone who didn't fear God, there's a Florida mother. Speaking of Mother's Day, there's a Florida mother who was speeding at 91 miles per hour with 2 toddlers unrestrained. She was pulled over.
2 toddlers.
And the police officer was like, why are they unbuckled? She said, and this is what she said verbatim, I didn't want to buckle them while they were sleeping.
What?
Exactly.
Wait, what?
Exactly.
Did she even have like she could at least have him in the booth in the baby seat like nothing like
exactly.
Man, what are you doing?
I don't want to buckle them up. Well, guess what? You about to be taken to jail.
Oh wait. Hold up, wait, Marcel, you know the song. They got me locked up, won't let me out.
Yeah.
Oh God, Marcel, what
the hell was that?
Marcel, what the jacket is.
Oh my gosh.
Oh Lord. But that's all we had. That's all we had for What You Do in Detroit. If you have any topics for the show, please give it to us on Instagram, Twitter, or if you're in the KrisCross Corner Podcast Facebook group, please send them over that way. We're going to get into our topic of the day right after this. All right, y'all, we're back. We have the topic of the day. We're going to be talking about a major decision for the U.S. Supreme Court that is happening as we speak on Mother's Day weekend. Isn't it?
Yeah.
They're talking about if Roe versus Wade, which was a huge case back in the 1970s, regarding legal abortion in the United States. Of course, it passed in the early 70s, and now states are trying to reverse that decision, which would mean women cannot have abortions, which is also against First Amendment, Second Amendment, Third Amendment, Fourth Amendment.
What?
I'm playing. The 19th Amendment.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, I'm saying the 19th Amendment. Okay.
I got to put it out there.
So we have the resident mother on the show. We have Mecca Ali on the show. Before we begin, I like to say that from my family, the Cantu family, we do believe in pro-choice. Okay. So please understand that we do understand that it is the woman's right to choose whatever she wants to do with her body. Because if men can do it all day, men can do it. Women should be able to do it too. Okay. Now there are some states, okay, with some weird laws right now, but we're not going to get into all that right now.
I wonder which one of those. Which one of those states is it? I wonder which.
Actually, one of them is actually Michigan.
Yeah, it is.
One of them is Michigan. The other one is Indiana, Wisconsin, Iowa, Missouri, Texas, Oklahoma.
Oh, of course, Texas.
Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, Florida, North Carolina, and West Virginia. And if you go out to the West, it's going to be Utah and Arizona, of course.
You also got to remember most of those states are Republican states.
True. They are Republican state. They are majority Republican, and most of the country is Republican. But the majority of the population dense areas are mostly Democratic. So
it depends like where you're at.
So of course, California, New York, Illinois, they're all going to be, hey, we don't want this decision to be reversed.
Right.
Washington, of course, Oregon, of course, Minnesota, and Pennsylvania, and Virginia, surprisingly, say that they would go against the reversal. However, these are the states that say that they would ban abortion. Okay, these are states with trigger bans already in place, or other abortion bans. So that would be Idaho, Utah,
of course,
Arizona, Texas, Oklahoma, both Dakotas, North and South, Wisconsin, Iowa, Missouri. Did I say Oklahoma already? Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio, and West Virginia.
Wait, did you say Indiana on that list?
No, Indiana is not on there yet.
It's going to be on there.
Yeah. More than half of the U.S. states could ban abortion if Roe versus Wade is overturned. Now, these are 9 states have pre-Roe bans. So right now they have bans like, you have these certain criteria to say that you can or not abort your baby already. And we already said that already. Arizona, Texas, Oklahoma, Arizona, Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, West Virginia, Wisconsin, and Michigan. Now we have 17 states pass bans or extreme limits on abortion, which is the ones I've already said, which is mostly in the South. And then we have Idaho and Utah, primarily United States. And then we have 4 states that would ban it based on historical and political histories, which would be Montana, Nebraska, Indiana, and Florida.
Of course.
And Florida.
Now, I'm not gonna lie. With all the talk that we've done on this show over the last 2 years, I think this may be the first time we've ever talked about Montana.
The Big Sky State? Come on now.
The only Montana
Very beautiful.
I know at the top of my head is Joe Montana, and he played football.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
What about Violet Beauregard from Willy Wonka? She's from Montana.
Nope. Next.
Oh God. Anyway.
I was gonna say Hannah Montana, but okay.
Hannah Montana. See? Hannah Montana. Hannah Montana. Anyway, we're going to talk about the Disney show, Hannah Montana. You get the best of both worlds. Anyway, I had to burst out the vocals. Anyway, Mecca Ali, what do you think about Roe versus Wade?
With it being the land of the free, it's total, excuse my language, bullshit.
Okay.
We should be able to have an abortion whenever, for whatever reason, versus us giving birth to children that we hate or children that we know that we can't properly take care of. And people don't realize this also, with abortions, it also lower the risk of having kids in the system being abused, etc. So it's very frustrating. In the end, it's a safe way of having an abortion. There's people out here doing alley abortions and people dying from it. Mm-hmm. Or they just push themselves down the stairs.
Damn. Yeah.
So, yeah, like I was just actually talking to my best friend. She's in Texas and she thought she was pregnant. And we cracked a joke and we said, okay, if you're pregnant, you just gonna come up here, use someone's address, and you just gonna go get an abortion if that's what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, my sister got an abortion. Like, it's very, very, very annoying and frustrating. Because first of all, let's get this straight. What's annoying about it is you got men over here trying to tell us what we can do with our bodies when, you know what? Don't get me started.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. Because a lot of people, it is a paternal society, a patriarchy here in the U.S. However, some states, you have the men, most of these men, saying, hey, we can't do this, blah, 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 blah. Usually in the South. Most of them are in the South.
Right.
Yeah.
Also in the South, you actually have women as well saying no abortions. But that also, when I said earlier, it comes down to historical and political atmospheres. Mostly in the South.
and in the South, you
so,
kind of already.
I mean, it's a lot of people up top saying like state legislators, and then people obviously in the Supreme Court, which I think 3 of them are already against it. I think 3 or 4 of them are against overturning this. But the Supreme Court, I believe, is half and half right now, or I think it's majority Democrat now.
And you also got to look at the religion too.
Yeah, religion
plays a very big part in it, because most religions will, I think it's banned. Like, I don't know the proper term for it, but if you ever get an abortion or do like something very extreme, they will like damn near ban you.
Yeah, it's looked down upon. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
And it's also a geographic and a political, construct. It's usually in the South, quote unquote, the Bible Belt area, which
what happened
is very looked down upon.
What happened to separation of church and state? I mean, this is one of the very things.
Yeah, that's another contradiction that we have to deal with, but I mean, this is what I say when people say, well, you have to watch who you vote for because you don't know what they stand for. And a lot of people don't vote because it's 2022 now. This is a midterm election. So whoever we vote for now influences who's going to be the president of the United States in 2022.
And I'm gonna say this right now and such. I will say this, right now, if anybody had to say right now, would you think that Biden would get reelected in 2024? Like, as of right now, at this very moment?
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Trust me. No, trust me.
It depends on who's running.
All right, it's going to be Trump again. He said he's running again.
Oh, my goodness.
So, as of right now, we already got rid of this guy. Okay, we got rid of Trump. Do we want another 4 years of Trump, or do we want someone who said, quote unquote, said that he's going to be doing all this stuff for us? However, we have the Roe versus Wade overturning. We have gun reform coming up right now. Yep. We have the war in Russia right now, which Trump pretty much, AKA, started.
If you
I'm going to say it live on the podcast right now. He basically was like, "Hey, Putin, you're my friend. Let's have fun." Then he was like, "Oh, I'm not the president. I'm no more."
That's the facts. That's the facts.
Putin was like, "Oh, you ain't? Okay, I'm gonna invade Ukraine." And this is what happens right now.
I see why Ludacris left the U.S.
Damn.
I see why. I would have been right there with him. Like, come on, let's go.
And this just at least my personal take on it. Seeing as though, Roe v. Wade, which has been a very important, event in this country for decades now, seeing as though that this literally just came out in the last week or so with the news of it that it could be potentially overturned. Who's to say that the Supreme Court may even overturn or overrule already existing laws that are out there for, say, same-sex marriages? Who'd say that? Who'd say
same-sex marriages? No, they already did. Not the Supreme Court, but certain states have already overturned equal voting rights or the voting rights.
Yeah, they did.
AKA Texas. I'm talking about y'all, Texas.
Yeah, so my thing is that like Roe v. Wade is just like one of those things to where it's like, and Kris, like you said earlier, though, being a person who do believe in pro-choice as well, I do not believe that it should be that the fact that that there are quote unquote men that are out there trying to make laws and decisions as far as what a female can do with her body, I personally do not agree with. Never will agree with it. It's one of those things that it goes against literally a lot of things that are already stated in the Constitution. A lot of those things, and as far as just basic amendment rights, and it's just one of the things that's it's a travesty. And I think honestly, with whatever happens, I think this might end up being one of the things that can be counted for when Biden goes up for re-election in 2024. Outside of what you just mentioned before, Kris, it's a big one.
It's a pretty big one, and I love people that understand the system that men shouldn't be making decisions on women's bodies. However, there are women making decisions about women's bodies, which are contradictory to what women want.
Right.
Which I talked about earlier. A lot of women in the South and Indiana and Utah and in Idaho are voting for the reversal of Roe v. Wade because of the religious backgrounds, the political backgrounds. Because if they vote against, usually women are usually together. However, if you're a woman, a politician in the South, like say you're a state legislator or a senator from the South, you say, hey, we don't want this anymore. But then you have the people around you who live in rural Texas, rural Arkansas, that say, hey, if you don't do this, we're going to kick you out. It's political pressures, religious pressures, family pressures sometimes. So I'm not saying that, men shouldn't be making decisions on women's bodies. I'm saying as a country that says, like what Mecca said earlier, a free country which says you can do whatever you need to do to be happy in pursuit of happiness, you should be able to abort a child that you don't want.
Yeah, or
don't want to have in this world.
Yeah, for whatever the reason is.
For what, like any reason.
Body.
For any reason. Like, I mean, like a few years ago, I was probably on the like in the middle, say, hey, abortion shouldn't be legal. However, you are killing something. However, when we have all this media out here, like say Cold Case, Law and Order, Degrassi, One Tree Hill, Moesha,
both to the
E to the anyway. You see like you see that. See, I had to put some comedy in here. So you had to see that abortion affects, of course, the family, but we got to talk about that one person who's doing the abortion, who has to have the abortion. You got physical trauma, mental trauma, emotional trauma. Like sometimes you have to do the abortion. Sometimes you say you want to do it because, hey, I don't want this baby. But sometimes you have to do it because you have health problems. So you have to do the abortion. So it's like you can't shun a woman for doing something for her benefit. Because if a man had to carry a baby,
Ruth better get.
Because if a man had to carry a baby, he got rid of it. Shoot. I'm sorry. If the roles were flipped.
You see stuff over at the 7-Eleven, you see it at the gas station.
I saw that post and I was like,
it's true though. If you think about it.
It's true, but it's like, I don't want to play devil's advocate, but yeah, it is a 7-Eleven. It is a 7-Eleven. You can either choose a condom or a Slurpee. That's pretty much it. A candy bar?
I would say, Ruth bet against, but right now, he's definitely got to be rolling in her grave right now.
She is.
And it's sad to think about a lifetime of her work and all the stuff that she's done, advocating for women's rights and such in the last 2 years. A lot of things is like they're just trying to take like a little time, just kind of wipe it away, to like delete it.
So back in 1970, they talked about Jane Roe. It's a fictional name. So it basically was killing, the fetus. So, except, it's illegal except if you're trying to save a woman's life. So technically, the other stuff I said earlier, other than trying to, for physical, if the baby's killing you, you have to get rid of it. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, it's pretty much going against the Fourth Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, the Ninth Amendment, and the 14th Amendments for, if they overturn this, I swear to God, you're going to see a lot more, I would say more political activists for this cause, men and women, myself included. I will fight this on the podcast because I agree with women's rights. I have a daughter. So of course I have a different lens now. But I want my daughter to have all the freedom she deserves. So
exactly, like it's one of those things that's like it's like want to talk about the abortion rights, but it targets so many things that are like outside of that as like a byproduct outside of this one thing. People come from other countries to come to this to come here to this country to have potentially a better life, to have a fresh start, to start a new chapter. And when there's laws, when there's laws or other things that are in place to where you may not be able to have the same type of things that you imagine by coming into this country, then it really fabricates a lot.
Forget that. You got people hopping over the damn border to come here and get a safe and legal abortion. Like, and you wonder why. Like, this is just ridiculous. This is very ridiculous. Like, once again, this don't bother us, all of us as a whole. So why is it such an issue? It's not putting money in it's putting money in their pockets, because people who usually have to get abortions, they have to physically pay for it.
Yeah.
But
yeah, go ahead, because I have like, I think of things outside the box. I think of, like, you know, the different systems that we have in place in America. You know if they reverse this, you know what this impacts which community this impacts the most?
I want to say minorities. I want to say that
more so the Black community.
Yeah,
I agree.
This is a plot to increase profit to the prison system, the private prison system in America. This is what's going on right now. This is what's literally going on right now, because you see all these states: Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Tennessee, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia. I'm saying all these states because they need to be known. South Carolina, North Carolina, Florida, Indiana, Michigan. Hey,
we
Black people in them states.
We keeping the same energy for all those states, the same way that we. If you remember the episode that we talked about the 3 people on the Supreme Court, or 6 people who voted.
No. The 3 people of the House of Representatives.
Yeah, thank you, Chris. Let me get my judicial report. Let me get that straightened up. Of the House of Representatives who voted against lynching being a federal hate crime, earlier this year and such.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with New York Times, they had the
Don't
names.
get me started on that.
They had the names, the states, everything. We was like, yep, those were the people.
Mm-hmm. We about to get rid of it. And that also says, hey, we need to watch who we vote for.
Mm-hmm.
Because those people influence, what's going to happen later in life. And it's usually old white people, men and women.
Actually, anyone who actually have someone, kids, siblings that you know of, friends, whoever, who are in the process of getting ready to register to vote, please just teach them to actually look into it and don't look at the key points. Like, dig a little bit deeper, because that's what my grandma taught me, and that's why I had realized so much more when it comes to voting.
Mm-hmm.
I think the biggest thing, outside that, Mecca, is that, in an age right now to where there's so much information. There's so much information about so many things that are out there that you can literally find dirt on almost any person if you really do enough digging and such. I think the problem is that right now you can make an argument that there's too much information, because you see things that are out there and they're talking about, oh, this is real, this is fake, this is bipartisan, this is that. All these different things that are out. There's like different outlets. But if you, excuse me, if you really do your research that's out there, because there's a lot of research that's out there, and not just going on a blind eye, it's very helpful, because everybody has all the information is out there. All of it. There's way more information that's out there now, as opposed to how it was for our parents, when all of our parents were our age, way back when.
Mm-hmm.
Way more. Way more information.
Yeah, so I'm gonna let you guys know that 2022 we have the midterm elections, which means we're about to. It's revving up. It's time to vote for a new president. So
get your ass out and vote.
Right, and get your ass out and vote. I'm saying it right now on this podcast. If you are 18 and up, you are legally, I won't say obligated, but you should be able to vote. Power in this country is by voting. If you vote,
and if you feel like your vote don't matter, it matters.
It matters. Thank you, Mecca.
Sure matters.
Thank you, Mother Mecca.
So get up, instead of watching TV, take your ass out and vote. Just that simple.
You sit down, watch a TV, your life just passes you by. You keep on procrastinating over
and over again.
No, do it right now.
And here's the thing: if you don't believe that your vote, if you don't believe that voting matters, it's real simple. Go back to the 2020 election. If Biden did not win Pennsylvania or Georgia, he would not be in office right now.
And thank you for all the glorious Black women who voted Joe Biden in Philadelphia and Atlanta. Thank you very much for electing Joe Biden as president.
If we're gonna keep it sad. And here's the funny thing, if you really think about this, y'all. In the same year that lynching just now became a federal hate crime in this country, it's the same year that the Supreme Court tries to overturn Roe v. Wade.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that. In the same year.
The Republicans mad that we won that George Floyd case. That's what it is.
But see, if you think about it, if you just heard, there was a story that came out, I think it was by ABC News. I think they reported a couple of years ago that I can't remember if it was like the Supreme Court over in Minnesota or one of the judges out there that the sentencing like went down no less than 20 years, but no more than 25. He's still gonna be getting out, like Charlie, he's still gonna be getting out by the time he's 60. So you can make an argument that at least in that case, that's still kind of like life in his case.
No, or he should be in there for life. That's what he should be.
He should be in for life. If you think about it,
execution style.
He literally had an argument saying that, oh, okay, I'm sorry, I violated his civil rights. No, you killed the man.
No, you killed the man, and like you killed the man and didn't even give him. You
on
took
tape.
Away. You killed the man and you took away his rights. Forget like, oh, I didn't know his rights. Like, oh, like no, you took that away. You didn't give the man a chance as such. Like straight up. Now, granted, do I believe the man should be locked up for life and throw away the key? Absolutely.
No, he should be put in South Carolina, so death by firing squad.
I want to go back.
Boom. There's a video on YouTube that shows like a death by firing squad, like actual sentencing. They're like death by firing squad, and they do it, and it is very like traumatic.
It is?
Yeah, it's on there. They cover their heads, they hang them so they can say their last words, and then they just shoot them. They have eight sheriffs pointing their guns at them, and they just shoot them.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy. Wait. They might bring back crucifixion. Okay, they might just bring back crucifixion.
Honestly, that's not too far of a stretch.
It's not too far.
That's not too far of a stretch.
Big yeah.
I didn't even think about that, but yeah, that's not too far of a stretch. But honestly,
it's very traumatic. So watch it on your own time.
Yeah, but I'll say it. But yeah, like we were saying earlier, if you are over 18 years old in this country, or if you're not registered to vote, number one, get registered to vote, and number two, get your ass out and vote. Please
get your ass out and vote.
And also, we voted, so correction, we have a right to say what we have to say about this. So if you deciding not to vote, feel like you should have a say so and stuff, then you just need to stop.
Actually, if you don't vote, you can't say shit.
Can't say shit.
Pretty much, bing bong.
And I'm not
said bing bong.
And actually, I'm not gonna go back to Roe v. Wade for a minute. I think in another way as well. If you kind of think about it, this is gonna get real controversial, but hey, I'm here for it. If you really think about it, the fact that the thought even came out to overturn Roe v. Wade and to overturn potentially Roe v. Wade in the first place, it kind of makes you wonder, how do people in this country really do see women? And a lot of people would argue that they would just see women as just people, pop babies out and boom, that's it and such. A lot of people wouldn't. But in reality, it's so much more. It's so much more that we're not back in the, way back when in the 20s and 30s, or even not in civil rights times anymore. It's not like that anymore. You have a lot of women right now, a lot of our politicians right now are women. A lot of our, help. We just had a Supreme Court justice right now, a Black woman sworn into the Supreme Court just last month.
And just in time too.
Literally just in time before all this shit happened. So, and all that, but I think about not just women in our age group, but younger cousins, and eventually, when they grow up, and the next generation is going to be coming up as well, because you're going to be having a lot of women nowadays, who are going to be, if they weren't already on keeping a head on the swivel for everything that's going on out there, which I know everybody is. But now it even gets more sane to say, hey, we got to really keep a head on the swivel. Because if you're with,
Yeah, I said, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, like if you're with someone, like say whether it's a guy, whether it's a boyfriend or whomever, and such, whomever your partner is, I'll say it to be politically correct here, then you're really gonna be thinking twice about doing, certain things, especially with the laws, that are in this country, and how they will be hindrance not just for women, but especially those in the Black community and other. I did myself this love. And other communities as well and such. It really is it's one of the things. It's gonna be a domino effect for a lot of women in a lot of communities who may not have the access, to high quality healthcare, especially if you're in low income communities. Mm-hmm. It really is, because it's like I said, when protect our women. Number one, protect our Black women. Protect them.
Protect them. Happy Mother's Day, everybody.
Yeah,
happy Mother's Day. And go ahead, Kris.
And to all of all the women, who are out there, who listen to this, who subscribe to the podcast, you are awesome. You're amazing. If it wasn't for y'all, none of us would be here in the first place. Well, literally. And we all stand with you. And women's rights, it's the right thing to do. Mm-hmm. Men should not be making decisions on women's bodies. Straight up.
They should not be. But I'm just saying, abortion. It's a huge issue. It's a huge issue, but it's a very small piece of what America has. We have to progress better than this, because this is. It's like remember when you were young, you had the little Razor scooter with the sidewalk is just all smooth.
I had that shit.
You're just riding around. This is the one crack that makes when you hit that crack, you just fall over, or the scooter hits your ankle. Don't you hate that?
Why are you in my business?
Don't you just hate that? This is basically what is happening right now. And we're trying, I hate to say this, but the Democratic Party is the party of progression. Now you can take that for a good thing or a bad thing.
Let's keep it stacked.
And the bad thing about it is a lot of people their moral values side with the GOP, the Republican Party. But the Republican Party, if you look on TV, the media and stuff, and you look at what they actually stand for in black and white, they're a party of reversal.
Going back,
reversing things. I know you call it conservative, or we want to conserve what has been happening or what had been before you, but that's an archaic way of thinking.
AKA,
you see what happened in the last 4 elections. Majority of this country voted for the Democratic candidate, with a small anomaly being 2004. 2004, George Bush was the best candidate. But
if we're gonna keep it aside, let's be honest.
Because Clinton got the popular vote in 96, in 2000. Obama got the popular vote in 2008 and 2012.
Yeah.
Hillary got the popular vote in 2016, but lost to Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
And then Biden got the popular vote and the electoral vote in 2020.
Yeah.
But here go my big question, because I just thought about it. Because back then in the day, that's funny. So back then, we fought for our rights to try to get taken away, because it's like this is one step, and then it's gonna be our voting rights, and it can go up to where women can't work. And with me being a single parent myself, I have to work to provide for my child. And then it's like, what's next? They're going to start trying to take away African American, votes or rights.
Mm-hmm. They are. They're trying. They already did it in Texas, South Carolina, and Florida.
Yeah.
So for any of our listeners living in South Carolina, Florida, in Texas, Please.
Move.
No, don't move. Please vote to get these guys out of here.
Okay? Yeah, vote getting the hell out.
But if we're also talking about, big issues like Roe v. Wade, we need to talk about family leave. Okay, mothers and fathers need to be able to be with their child until they're at least 2 years old.
Yes, I agree.
I agree.
Paid,
I agree.
Not paid leave. That's BS. Because you still have to pay your bills.
Or work from home. That could be an option as well.
Working from home. Thank you, Mecca.
Exactly.
But after 2.5 years of quarantine, I think some businesses need to not be in business anymore because they don't understand that people don't need to be in the office anymore. You know how much money you could save by not having people in the office?
Wait, I want to say something to expand on that, but I'll wait till you're done.
Go ahead, Kris.
I'll say, outside of that, but if you really look at what's going on right now, I'm not sure when the last time anybody checked the U.S. Bureau of Labor and Statistics, but I believe like an estimated like 4.5 million people actually, walked out on jobs this last month. People, it's a shift, a changing of the guard that's going on right before our very eyes. I think within over the last 2 or so years, ever since COVID first happened, I think there's been upwards of almost like some 15 million people who are voluntarily walked away from jobs. People are really understanding that, hey, people do not want to be working blue collar jobs, crazy work hours, no work-family balance or no work-life balance, etc. And people want to be able to spend time and do things on their own terms and still be able to enough to make a living. And we add all the different types of companies to where, they'll start you off at whatever wage, or they'll say that, oh, you may not be qualified for a position because you may not have the experience. But for a lot of people, having that first job is a way to even get experience in the first place. So that's a contradiction, right? Right. So like people are really saying right now that, hey, we're going to take the power in our own hands. Right now, it's the gig economy that's going on. You got so many people who are either doing, part-time hours at whatever place, but they're saying doing Uber or Lyft or Grubhub or DoorDash or all these different types of gigs that are out there, to make ends meet, to pay the bills and such. Because for the main part, people want choices. People want options. And if you're working at a company, you may not be having those same type of options or choices unless you're there for at least maybe 5 or 10 or for some cases 20 or 25 years. Because that's what sometimes and such. Now for a lot, for probably for many of us and such, the way at least it was with my grandparents, the way it was back then, the way the schools taught us way back when is that you study hard, you get a good job. Well, you study hard, you get a good education, you get a good job, you stay at that job for maybe 15, 20, 30 so years and such, and then boom, you're set. It ain't like that anymore. It ain't like that. And it ain't like that. People are struggling, not just to pay bills, but if you look at inflation right now, the housing market going up, the housing market probably going up for at least another 4 or 5 years, at least. With the way things are right now, people are having harder times to provide food on the table, to provide for families. People want choices. And they're going to say, hey, if it means that we're going to have to leave our jobs to find a better option, then we're going to do that. And we're not going to care.
Right. So this is one thing that pisses me off. That I never understood. And still people from the older generation keep on saying that this is the way it was. This is the way it was. I'm like, why do I have to work 90 days to get health benefits?
3 months.
3 whole months. I could get hired day one.
I actually never thought about that until now.
And to get shot that day, and I can't get coverage. Like, what the fuck? That doesn't make any sense. Or 30 days sometimes. Like, people need to be able to have benefits on day one. They need to have flexibility of their hours. I know some jobs you can't really do that because you have to work a certain set amount. But at least, if you can if you have the option to work from home, work from home. 2 days, maybe 1 day, 2 days a week in the office. You have traveling options. And also, I never understood the idea of a 30-minute lunch. I never did. Never understood it.
Hell, and I'm just going to use my Cedar Point experience from this one. If you're working at Cedar Point, if you are working at gatekeeper, for example, just to get from gatekeeper, or wait, but yet, no, let's do something a little bit further. Let's say dragster. Let's say that. If you're working at
dragster's closer. Dragster's closer to the lunch area. So I would say gatekeeper.
Okay, yeah. To get from gatekeeper to the lunch area, that alone can take you 10 minutes.
10-minute walk. Then you gotta sit in that line for a good 15 minutes.
Oh, wait. Yeah, at least about 15, 20. And then you sit down, you get your food, and then you're like, oh shit.
I got 2 minutes.
I got 2 minutes. And you gotta make a match. You could if you ever worked at Cedar Point, if you know, if you look at your watch and if you got like maybe 2 minutes left, you could probably beat Usain Bolt in the 40-yard in the 100-meter dash to get all the way back to your workstation. You clock in and then you get back to where you need to go.
Yeah. The 30-minute lunch hour, quote unquote lunch hour, lunch break needs to stop. That needs to stop.
Sometimes the hour lunch isn't long enough either. I prefer an hour and a half, but we're not gonna get there.
I said it every time I do a job interview. I was like, all right, I need a 3-hour lunch.
And in my case, it's one of the things that really made me realize, because from my time of working at Cedar Point and Jimmy John, both of them and such, one of the things that made me say, you know what, I have more enjoyment having full control of my own hours. I work how long that I may want to. How I work as long as I want to. My lunch break comes when I want my lunch break for however long as I want to. Schedule things my own way. If I want to work, say, a 4-day week, and do like maybe 4 12s or 3 12s and such, no, I could do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying it as a form to flex on anybody like that. But what I'm saying is that, as someone who's actually been doing it now for almost 4 years, and now seeing the masses, trying to in that same type of box and such, people want choices. And they know that when it comes down to if you're working at a company, 99.9% of the time, if it comes down to you or them, you lose.
Mm-hmm.
Is that simple?
You lose. However, but like you said, people want choices. And having the choice to abort a baby or not abort a baby should be the person who has the baby. That should be their person. That person's choice. Not their moms, not their dads, not the congressman up in Lansing / Washington D.C. None of that.
And I didn't point this out earlier, but I will say this. And here's the funny thing. I didn't point this out earlier, but I'll point it out right now. A lot of people, talk about abortion and so on and so forth, and it's a big thing. It really is. You ever notice how not a lot of people talk about, whether men actually get a vasectomy or so? You ever notice how it's not that big type of a discussion, at least not on the same terms as big as it was before abortion?
Not really, because not really because it is a patriarchal society, so we don't really talk about it like that.
Yeah, I mean, right, and for most men, getting a vasectomy takes what, 30 minutes? Mm-hmm. About 30 so minutes, give or take.
You say it like it's easy. You say it like it's easy.
Hey, man. Hey, look. I'm saying.
I'm going right now. Snip.
Hey, look. I told. My one straight up. I said, look. When it comes down to it, later on, after say maybe 2 or 3 kids, after that, I'm like, hey, look. I would gladly go get a vasectomy. Snip, boom, be done with it. Straight up.
Oh man, not little Kris. I'm playing.
Hey, look,
my son's father talked about it before.
Wait, what?
My son's father talked about getting a vasectomy.
Yeah,
he told me that while I was pregnant with my son.
He's like, man, I want a vasectomy.
A vasectomy takes like maybe what, like less than an hour to do. Takes like maybe like a week or 2 to actually recover and shit.
You got like a vasectomy is like a dentist appointment. You can be there for 45 minutes and you out.
Hey,
you got a hygienist in there. I mean,
right, I'm just saying, like, you got, and now from all the guys who are running away, if we're gonna keep it side, run away from actually taking care of their responsibility with the child that they helped, create in the first place and such. Then my thing is like, hey, look, if you don't want it, use a condom.
Use a condom.
Right. You know,
practice. First of all, if practicing abstinence doesn't work, at least use protection. Come on now.
At least.
And I'm going to talk about that right now. We have a country. I'm going to put this out there. I'm going to put America on blast right now. We have a country that has no universal health care. That's one. A country with no free birth control. Forget Roe v. Wade. We have no free birth control. So if you don't want to have a baby, you got to be rich in order to not have, have the luxuries of not having a baby. No mandatory comprehensive sex education. So a lot of kids don't even know the different options for safe sex or sex in general. The physical, mental, emotional happens after, during.
And what is the main exposure to a lot of kids when it comes to sex when they're at a young age?
Media.
Huh?
The media and school and the people around them.
I mean, well, yeah, but particularly let me be specifically for a lot of young guys growing up, what is mainly that first exposure when it comes to actually sex education, primarily?
Media. I don't want to get specific, but pornography or
yeah, I'm about to say the P word.
Yeah. Exactly.
But mostly their first experience usually like the hot girl on TV or blah 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 blah. If they want to delve into a little more, then they'll get into pornography and all.
We can just punch in Kanye's documentary right now and such. Talks about his first exposure, actually seeing his dad's Playboy magazine at a young age or so. Yeah. And he was still 5 or 6 or so.
Yeah, but anyway,
I'm just saying, man.
And then people don't talk about financial assistance, financial literacy,
right,
and all that stuff. And then you want to force people to have abortions.
Home economics, home ec.
Home ec. A lot of people don't know how to cook. That's why we're going. That's why DoorDash is making billions of dollars right now.
Or like HelloFresh as far as meal prep.
Yeah, HelloFresh. Yeah, people don't know. Again, people don't know how to cook nowadays. They don't know how to cook.
Or either they don't know how to cook, or B,
they don't want to learn how to cook.
Or they don't want to learn how to cook. Or C, they have every single hour in their 168-hour week that they can't even take an hour or two to prep for like lunch or dinner for an entire week.
Hey, Chris, because some people can't do that. Some people are working these 8-hour jobs, then they got to get off and work a 12-hour job.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have sex education or condoms.
Let's be honest though.
America's just a shit show. I'm just saying, America's a shit show. They say, hey, we're gonna arrest you or put you in jail if you do this, but you didn't prevent it in the first place. But anyway, we're gonna close up the show. Thank you, Christopher Bird, Mecca Ali, Basil Lowe, and Marcel Smith for being on the show. I'm gonna close the show out by saying, women, you do have a choice. I stand with you. And if you do choose to get an abortion or have had someone who has had an abortion, know that if you're with them, say, I stand with you on your decision. I will be there for you. I will be there with you. And we will get through this together, because people don't understand there's a lot of mental and emotional impacts of abortions in this country. And that has been another edition of the KrisCross Corner Podcast. Please stay safe, social distance, and be nice to each other.